What's up, everybody? This is Zach with the Nerd Cave Podcast. Today is episode 172. I'm joined with two beautiful men beside me.
Derek Diamond.
And Jeremy Branch of Be Terrible Movies on YouTube.
Thank you for joining us, Jeremy.
Yeah.
Man, thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure.
It's been a
Get this
hot
little
minute.
crackly thing out of here. Yeah, it is. It has. Actually, we've been wanting to do this for a little bit. Life keeps getting in the way for you, man. What's up with your priorities?
Dude, it's called job.
What?
I have 160 kids that count on me, so, you know.
160 kids that count on you. I have a dog and a cat at home that count on me.
So
thank you guys for inviting me.
Yeah,
back.
man.
It
Yeah,
always
absolutely.
is a lot of fun.
yeah, thank you for pitch hitting for us and, you know, coming in. Robbie's working this afternoon, so we,
He's stuck at a radio station.
yeah, and I was just like, you know who would be good? Jeremy Branch.
I don't know if I'm actually a good substitute for Robbie, but I will try my best to get as close to the microphone as possible.
So, how have you been, Derek? And then we'll go Jeremy, since I'm already looking this way.
Well, thank you for that. Hi.
Since it was your birthday.
Yeah, turned the big 3-0 on Thursday, so filing for retirement, Social Security, all that fun stuff.
Hey, that's good.
Yeah.
AARP sent the card to you
Yeah,
already?
they did. Yep. It's all shiny and new.
It's Publishers Clearinghouse now.
Pepperidge Farms remembers. But no, went out with some friends. You know, just had a nice dinner for my birthday, and then we also, my girlfriend and I celebrated our early 6 months on Saturday.
Nice,
so
congrats.
thank you. A lot of going out this past weekend, but it's been very relaxing.
Well, good.
Very relaxing. So we've got to start a 10-game homestand with the Wahoos tomorrow. So, but the last 10 games left of the season.
That's
so
good.
Yeah. So
And y'all are going to the playoffs, right?
yes, we'll have at least 2 playoff games. Beyond that depends on, you know, how the team does on the road
Yeah.
and how things shake up. But I guess if you include that, we have 12 games left. But it's crazy. It's hard to believe it's the end of another baseball season.
Yeah.
So, and then also, just out of curiosity, I don't know about it, but are you and Robbie doing some sort of sports podcast now as well?
Yes, we're recording this Sunday afternoon. We actually today started our brand new radio show called Sunday Morning Starters. It's a fantasy football radio
Nice.
show on Fox Sports. We're going to be doing that every Sunday morning from 11 to noon Central Time. So
Very
If
cool.
you don't live in the area, you can download the Fox Sports app and you can listen to it from there. But it was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
And
congratulations. That's
oh.
a cool gig, man.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been something that we've wanted to do for a long time, and now that we're finally getting to do it, you know, it's a lot of fun. So,
I can't speak on behalf of Zach, but if you need somebody to step in there, probably call Zach. I have no knowledge of football and sports.
I've won 2 fantasy football championships.
What?
Uh,
This is true.
I have.
The beast.
Yeah.
Nice.
You've won more than I have.
But I retired, so
Yeah.
the champ doesn't know anything
Yeah.
other than Aaron Rodgers is a beast.
Nice.
He
It's
is.
like Matthews. I want
It's
him to
like
be-
Thor.
Yeah, I want him to be my father.
I don't blame you.
You know.
I could go.
I
with
want to
that.
still keep my real father, but him be my other father.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Like your blood father?
I don't know, just like paternal, like just to be like that paternal figure there, you know, just like, you know, someone's talking smack, I'm like, go get him, Papa.
Yeah.
And then he's just like pummels them to death.
All he has to do is spear them,
Yeah.
and they're done.
So, Jeremy, what have you been up to? It's been a while since you've been
Oh,
on.
man. It's been hard living, guys. I've been just hanging out at the house, doing the regular YouTube thing. Haven't seen as many movies lately, but I did go and see Kubo opening night.
How was that?
Guys see it?
I haven't
Not
seen
yet.
I wanted to see
good.
it.
Yeah, it looks really good.
I'm evangelizing for it because it didn't do as well opening night as most of these animated movies does, and it's because it does have a kind of dark aesthetic, but man, it really captures my imagination. It captures my sensibilities. It takes me back to these kind of fantasy epics like whether it's The Labyrinth or The Dark Crystal, and it's very immersive, and the stop motion animation is bar none the best I've ever seen. It's the best implementation of the technology.
Wow.
Character designs, impeccable. Like, I gave it a 4 out of 5. I think you guys should definitely rush down and check it out. I did a review with Kiku, actually, which was cool. Always good to collaborate with the guys over there. And other than that, I have been doing some AV work for Keller Williams out in Destin. It's been a lot of fun to kind of rub elbows with real estate agents. They're not the kind of people that I normally surround myself with, but it's been really cool. Done some good networking, and hope to do some more in the future. But that's been a great way to use what we've all been learning and what there's actually marketable skills within all of this, turning on the camera and talking about nerd shit,
Yeah.
So it's been a lot of fun. That's pretty much what I've been up to, and glad to be joining you guys on a podcast, and hope to do more collaborating with the community here coming up.
Yeah, definitely. And you're going to be on our bonus episode for September.
Oh, yeah. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, and if you want the bonus episode, you can go over to patreon.com/nerdcave and toss us $1 and get August and September.
Just $1.
One simple dollar, as Robbie would say in our announcement.
One simple dollar. Not a complicated one, not a complex one. Just a simple dollar will do.
And really, $1, guys. How much do you spend on a Starbucks coffee? They put in a lot of work. They put money into this great gear to bring you guys good content, and the least you could do is show that little bit of support. It's not like they're asking for giant handouts. Just help them along. Help them continue to create this great content that you guys love to stop by and watch.
Well, thanks, Jeremy.
Yeah, man. Absolutely.
I want to bring Jeremy by to sell us more. So, every week we sit down. We talk about nerdy news that's been happening throughout the week. We break it up segment by segment.
There's nerd news?
By segment. There is nerd news.
Wow.
Every day you get a segment on the old YouTube for free.
Mm-hmm.
On Friday, the full episode goes up on YouTube and podcast services around the world.
Fantastic Friday.
Yes. But you can get it early on Monday on patreon.com.
Nice.
/nerdcave.
Yep.
So you can go check that out. There's a lot of stuff going on.
There is.
A lot of stuff. And we're going to start it off with Tom Cruise wanting more money.
Imagine that.
Always greedy Tom Cruise, couch stepping Tom Cruise.
He was my favorite actor until he did that. And then I was done
That
with
was
him.
it.
Yep, that was it. I'm like, I'm done with you. Top Gun, one of my all-time favorite movies, it'd be in my top 10. But when he jumped on Oprah's couch, I'm like, I'm done with you, sir.
Take his Academy Awards back.
Exactly.
Forget this guy.
If you can't respect Oprah's couch, what can you respect?
Man, that is a good point.
Yeah.
So Mission Impossible 6, is this the corporate where he wants more money?
Yeah, so Mission Impossible 6, they've already started pre-production, started building some of the assets visually with the people graphically and all of that. And things have already come to a stop with Paramount Pictures because Tom Cruise is like, I want more money.
Don't you know who I am?
Yeah. So it's kind of coming down to, it's such an early development now. The director's even still working on the script and everything, but Cruise is putting gunk in the works already because he's wanting more money. So there's not a ton of info here, but it's either Paramount wants to scale back how much it's going to cost, or Tom is expecting to get more money like he did with The Mummy when he came in.
Right.
So Rogue Nation, though, made buku-oodles of money.
Yeah.
So this is nowhere in danger at the moment, but if he doesn't get what he wants, I could see Paramount I see Paramount just crumbling to his will.
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, you look at a classic case like Robert Downey Jr. At a point, the franchise becomes so ingrained in these lead actors that you can't have Mission Impossible without Tom Cruise. They try to do the Bourne movies without
Matt Damon.
And how did that work out? So I do believe that they will end up giving him the money and he's an executive producer on the project as well, so you know that he has clout, and I would be surprised if he doesn't, like you said, it doesn't end up getting exactly what he wants for it.
Yeah, so I didn't watch Rogue Nation.
I haven't seen a Mission Impossible since the third one.
I watched the fourth one, I want to say.
I've heard the last two were really good,
They were.
but I haven't seen them
The
yet.
fourth one was good. That was the one with Dubai, right? That one was really good. I haven't watched Rogue Nation. I wanted to. And then this one,
Yeah.
whatever it's going to be called.
But I agree with you. I think they're going to crumble to what Tom Cruise wants because he's Tom Cruise.
Yeah. You
Just as simple as that.
You can't set it on cruise control.
No.
I like that. That might be the episode title. It's in the lead running right now.
Roll credits.
So, did you know that Harry Potter is also a white supremacist?
I heard that, man, and I just thought that it was in relation to some new movie that he was coming out with, but actually that doesn't surprise me at all that Harry Potter is a Nazi.
We all thought Voldemort was the bad guy, but it actually was Harry Potter.
Voldemort was actually the hero.
Yeah, he was trying to save the world from Harry Potter's Nazi regime.
From this Nazi brat.
Hitler, yeah.
So, Daniel Radcliffe is in this new show that's going to be coming on, I guess it looks like Fox or something like that.
I thought it was a movie.
It might have been a movie. I can't really remember. Imperium. It's called Imperium. It hits U.S. screens. It is a movie. Sorry.
Yeah.
This week, and then in the U.K., it's September 23rd. I don't know anything about it, but it says American History X meets The Departed. If you've ever watched American History X, it's a pretty graphic movie. So
the curb stomp or the curb check scene is something that's forever burned into my memory. It was so brutal. So are you guys stoked about it?
I thought it was interesting. I think anytime you see an actor that plays a very iconic role, I think Mark Hamill dealt with this as well. It's always hard to break out of that role.
Absolutely.
You saw Daniel Radcliffe go to Broadway and do different things, which is totally cool. Broadway is a great place to develop as an actor, and it's one of the greatest places, people want to go there. Like Broadway is the top for some people, but Daniel Radcliffe, he did, was it Horns? Was that the other movie? Yeah. I haven't watched it yet, but...
And then Swiss Army Man with the farting corpse. I didn't see either of these movies, but I've heard good things about them.
Yeah. So it's kind of like he's trying to find himself in this, and this could either help or hurt him in this role, because when people see you as a white supremacist, that's kind of forever etched in your mind.
Yeah.
Edward Norton was an American History X, so it took him a while to get past that as well. So I think it's interesting, and this kind of looks like a Nazi symbol and the Confederate flag as well, which is pretty cool.
It is a good design.
It's a crazy combination.
What do you think about it? Are you looking forward to seeing it?
I'd definitely be interested to see it, just to see how he does in the role, because like you said, it's tough for an actor who is known for one thing to get out of that stereotype. Whether it's a good or a bad thing kind of remains to be seen, but the fact that he's in it makes me interested in seeing it. I don't know if I'll see it in theaters, but I will see it, at some point in time.
I wanted to say that I think Elijah Wood is an actually very talented actor. We saw his range in movies like Maniac. You mentioned Horns. He has tried to diversify his portfolio recently. He has this look that makes him seem young even when he's playing old, but in the picture for Imperium that we just now saw, he actually kind of looks tough, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's a side of him we've never seen. The Departed, absolutely one of my favorite movies. American History X, absolutely one of my favorite movies. I love these crime thrillers and crime dramas, and to explore these despicable people, but then to also kind of be able to sympathize with them because you're kind of allowed into their mindset and their headspace. So I think that there's a lot of potential in this movie, and actually Daniel Radcliffe is like a FBI agent or a CIA agent who's forced to infiltrate this Aryan gang. So I think it can be one of those really tense nail-biter type movies, so I'm excited about it.
Yeah, kind of like Will Ferrell and Get Hard.
Yeah.
This is going to be just like that.
Yeah, basically.
With Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart's Daniel Radcliffe's sidekick.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
So, what would you say if Disney filed a patent for a real-life lightsaber?
Dun, 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 dun. I would geek out slightly.
Well, it's not exactly that. It's lightsaber battle tech. Now, we're going to go on a ride here. Disney has filed a patent to allow the company to use drone technology to beam lasers through foggy environments towards someone wielding a custom lightsaber. The Star Wars-like interaction is achieved by filling an area with vapor, then arming a person with a specially designed lightsaber that is capable of transmitting IR lights towards the later shooting drone. The IR rays are transmitted from the saber to the drone. Then the IR sensor built into the drone creates a field of view based from where the person is standing, allowed to use presumably open laser fire. I think that would be cool. You know, you could have these different drones or whatever, stormtroopers and all of that, so you could have some type of battle going on, and you are holding this lightsaber. So if they had these at like Disney World, I could see those rooms constantly being filled with people, you know, and it doesn't have to be a huge room. It could be just small rooms. People would pay for that.
And it shows that it wouldn't necessarily have to be... Well, I guess it would have to be a drone to be mobile, because whatever angle you swing the lightsaber at, but that's a really fascinating idea. The only thing that would seal the deal for me, and it's unfortunate, because it's like it has all the features of a lightsaber, except you can't kill younglings with it, and that's kind of unfortunate.
You know, I was really happy when that happened in episode 3. I'm just going to say that. Master Skywalker.
I saw a funny...
What are you doing here?
I saw a funny meme with Obi-Wan talking with Padme, and it says, Anakin's drunk. He's been killing Yinglings. And instead of the kids, it's bottles of Yingling beer. And I'm like, that is fantastic. But this whole thing just sounds really cool. And like, I was hoping that as time and technology develop, that something similar to this, or, you know, possibly even real life lightsabers being built one day. One day it'll,
you know,
it's gonna
my mom
happen.
wouldn't let me have a katana blade because I had a brother, but I'm sure the lightsaber would be... Dude, you could get into every vault in the world. You could just slay people.
I would. That's what I would do.
Yeah, like the Purge.
Yeah.
That kind of ties back into one of y'all's topics from a couple weeks ago, maybe, here in August.
Yeah, we on our bonus
show,
episode, we talked about what we would do if crime was legal. So.
That's something I would want to check out. It sounds fun.
So, if you don't know, Disney is creating Star Wars parks in both Anaheim and in Orlando. That's looking to make more Star Wars universe come to life.
Thanks.
So I am so ready to go to Disney World or Disneyland. I've never been to. I was right across the road from Disneyland when I was in California and didn't even go over there.
Funny story. I'm actually going in December.
To Disneyland?
Yes.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah, me and Sarah are taking a week-long trip to the West Coast in early December. So I said, if there's something Star Wars there, we're doing it. It has to happen.
Hey, there you go.
So if something Star Wars-like is out there by then, I don't think it will be, but you never know.
What if there's like a lady of opportunity dressed up like Jabba the Hutt?
What do you mean a lady of opportunity? What is that?
A lady of the night, a working girl.
A vampire? No, I'm just kidding.
Would you get on that ride?
Is it Star Wars related?
She's dressed up like Jabba the Hutt.
I'm going to plead the fifth on that one.
Oh, all right. Into comic book news. We've got some stuff that's going to make Derek Daniel happy.
Shout out to Derek Daniel.
Yeah, you and your CW shows, man. Fargo
your
actress.
Thesis.
Yes, your thesis. Fargo actress joins the Flash as new villain. The Flash has found its Francis. Is that Francis?
Mm-hmm. Francis Kane.
Francis Kane, a.k.a. Magenta. My actual favorite color of purple.
Interesting tidbit.
Yeah. And Fargo star Joey King. Now, if you don't know, Joey King also played Talia al Ghul.
Mm-hmm.
Young Talia al Ghul, so, in Dark Knight Rises. For those unfamiliar with the character, Francis Kane is a teenage metahuman who, not unlike Magneto, has the ability to control metal. Kane's villainous alias Magenta. I guess, yeah, that is Magenta. After I read
Not to be confused with Magneto.
that like threw me off there. Me and reading are not friends. Is born thanks to the side effect of her special powers that bring to surface her dark personality. So that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, it seems like they keep adding more villains to these shows, and Derek Daniel asked a question about it that I'll get into more in depth later. But as long as it's pulled off well, I have no issue with it. But I will say I have an eyebrow raised because we've seen what happens when they try to introduce too many villains
I'm so
to
with
the
you
story.
on that, man. That's something maybe we'll get into with the Spider-Man stuff sometime. But
Yeah.
yeah, same deal.
See, like, I like all the different villains. I don't like villain of the week type deal stuff. And I know that's where you're coming from. But when you look at the Flash has a rogues gallery, just like Batman has one and Spider-Man has one. The Flash has kind of a weird one, but they are bringing in Mirror Master and was it the Top or something like that? I can't remember. It was.
I can't remember either.
It was a few other like of his rogues gallery, but all of Flash's rogues are, other than Captain Cold, are pretty comical. Like,
I love Captain Cold. Wentworth Miller is so good as Captain Cold in The Flash.
I miss like the Justice Friends like mega battle. You know, every
Yeah.
episode they fight each other.
Yeah.
Like, I miss the guy that voices Captain Cold.
Yeah.
'Cause it was just so bad.
How is Legends of Tomorrow?
Never watched it.
Okay.
I got about halfway through season 1. It's pretty good. It's just one of those shows that between watching Flash, Arrow, and all the other shows I watch, it kind of got lost in the shuffle.
Backburnered, sure.
Yeah.
And
But the concept of it is really good, though.
The only thing I have to contribute to this, as somebody who's not really as familiar with the CW television shows, is Joey King sounds like a boy's name.
Yeah.
But she's the king.
Like a boy. No, I'm just kidding. The rest of what I was going to say is I'm really looking forward to the Flash Supergirl musical crossover if that actually ends up happening. That sounds fun. I'll definitely tune into
Yeah,
that.
hopefully Joss Whedon
Right?
does it.
He's the man for the job. Dr. Horrible sing-along blog is one of my favorites.
Oh, yeah. Neil Patrick Harris kills it.
So good.
Yeah.
Try to say Joss Whedon, like, all together.
Joss Whedon. Some people will give it a Josh Whedon.
Josh Sweden.
A Josh Sweden.
We had a long conversation about that last week.
Your boy.
My boy Vinny.
He's been causing some trouble lately.
He has been. Man, stop being an idiot.
Is it him?
Yes, it's him.
It's not The Rock?
It's not The Rock.
All right.
Last week we talked about he made the production push back from 7 a.m. starting production recording to 10 a.m. because he didn't want to get up.
I heard that he is like on his own time clock. Like interviewers will be waiting for him at press junkets, and they say he's super nice and generous when he gets there.
Yeah.
But he'll leave them waiting for 2 and 3 hours.
Yeah, that's not the way to keep your fans.
No, not
That's-
in this industry.
That's the way to become a Bruce Willis.
Now, The Rock's not 100% innocent in the situation either.
Sure.
No, because
But-
he blasted him on social
Yeah,
media.
and he should have left that, private, but
He left it ambiguous, but it still came off sounding petty when he's like, all my girls are good and all my guys suck. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So we're all excited for pretty much any Marvel movie that's coming out. The next biggie is Infinity War. And my man Vin Diesel has confirmed that the Guardians of the Galaxy crew will be in Infinity War.
Nice.
He took to Facebook. He was on a live stream. He said the Guardians will be included in the Avengers Infinity War, noting that is incredibly exciting and surreal. And he started talking about the photo that he took with the Avengers back then, and everybody thought he was going to be Giant Man,
yeah.
Right.
which would have been really, really cool. But I'm glad. I like, Vin Diesel as Groot.
That's a fun character. He's become kind of a fan favorite other than him and Rocket. People really respond to them. What I'm curious about, maybe you guys can clear it up for me. Infinity War is the first of the final 2 Avengers movies, correct?
Kind of.
Or is it both of them?
Well, it was supposed to be Infinity War Part 1 and 2,
2.
but they've changed it. Like, the next Avengers movie still comes out a year after Infinity War, but it's supposed to be something different.
Okay, but
it's not being
Infinity
called
War's the
Part 2.
first one.
Yes.
Okay, got you. Thanks.
And they're saying that it's going to be the end and beginning of some
next
big
phase.
thing in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So I'm
Sure.
wondering if that's going to be the last time we see certain characters.
Right.
Yeah, that would be my call because we've all seen, like, when Scarlet Witch takes over Tony Stark, you see, like, all of the characters, like, laying dead and everything.
Yeah.
So I think you're going to see the culling of people that don't want to continue on. I'm calling Tony Stark's going to die.
I think that Doctor Strange is going to be able to use his like multi-dimensional powers, and that Tony saw was just one out of millions of possibilities, you know, and maybe Strange can do something to kind of
Some strange.
revert,
Some strange things,
strange, and revert to a different plane of dimensions or another reality kind of thing. Man, Tilda Swinton, that casting. One thing I just don't know about, guys, she looks like a cone head.
I think she'll be fine.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for Doctor Strange. Not just because I love Benedict Cumberbatch, but the fact that he looks exactly like Doctor Strange should.
Yeah.
And the
Definitely.
costume is so accurate. It looks amazing, and it looks so different than any of the other Marvel movies. And I think that's why Guardians went over so well, is because it was different.
Yeah.
It was like a fun 80s sci-fi movie.
Yeah.
And now that you've got Marvel meets Inception, because it does look like Inception a little bit,
Yeah.
I think it's going to go over really well. Yeah.
So to bring it back around, how do we get Guardians into Avengers?
Well, it's in space. You already have Gamora as not Thor's, Jesus.
Thanos'
daughter. So she's wanting to thwart anything he's doing. She wants to kill him. So that's the easy in on that one.
So are the Avengers going to space, or is Thanos coming to Earth?
I think they go to space, and then it's like a universe wiping type deal.
I could see that.
Yeah.
And it would change the whole blue orb coming out of the sky at the end and destroying the city trope that we've seen in every comic book movie for the last 10 years.
Nukes. Or metal in the sky. Yeah. So I hope it's in space, because it
like
takes
that.
you away from everything. But
They got to shake things up.
yeah.
Cool idea, man.
Yeah.
Pitch it.
Yeah.
It. Right here, guys.
Bring it to space. Spider-Man's going to be useless in space, though.
Yeah.
Probably.
Like trying to shoot out his web to fucking Jupiter. Just like keeps going.
Speaking of Spider-Man, Spider-Man Homecoming.
Statcast.
Oh, yeah. It's all good.
Yeah.
It's all
Wait.
good.
Yep.
A black girl as Mary Jane?
Yeah.
How does
Oh,
that make
no.
sense? What?
Oh, wow. Oh, my God. Racism.
You guys are turning my head upside down.
So, is it Zendaya? Is that how you say her?
I believe so.
Okay.
That's what I've been saying.
Not trying to butcher her name, but is reportedly cast as Mary Jane Watson. And
Yeesh.
everybody and their grandmother is just saying that it's the worst thing ever, but not. I haven't really seen that on my feed,
I haven't
actually.
either.
Thankfully,
I haven't either.
That's been a nice thing. I'm excited about it. I think she's going to do an awesome job. I watched her a few times on that show that she had on Disney Channel, but that was about it.
Yeah.
So I think it's great.
I wasn't familiar with her. I had to do a little bit of research. I watched a couple of her appearances on like Ellen and Jimmy Kimmel, and she seems like a very intelligent 19-year-old girl. She's obviously making moves. She's very pretty. But I don't have a lot to go on as a frame of reference. This may be a little bit controversial, but I'm going to go ahead and put it out to you guys because you know me and I trust you. But I do believe that there's some stunt casting involved. We've seen how well this shakeup and the controversy has worked before. Obviously, they wouldn't hire this girl just because she's black, because there's a lot of black girls out there. This is a talented African-American girl or a black girl who will probably do fantastic in the role. I do worry about this first Sony Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
Because we've seen how Marvel handled Spider-Man, but they're throwing all these villains into the movie, which we've seen a little bit of the casting involved with that, and I really hope that we don't see Spider-Man 3 or Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yeah. I'll put my 2 cents in, then Derek can go on about 30 minutes, and I'll go get something to eat.
Pick me up something.
I will, man. Unfortunately, Chick-fil-A's not open right now.
Yeah.
So
I was going to have that for lunch, but then I'm like, oh, wait, they're not open on Sundays.
Can't get Jesus
That's
chicken.
the only thing I want.
That's exactly what I said.
Can't get your Jesus chicken. I think it's interesting. I don't want them to tried to fit her into what we think is Mary Jane Watson.
Agree.
Yeah.
I don't want to see them put her in a red wig and all of this and trying to make her what everybody thinks Mary Jane is. Give her her characteristics, you've hit the jackpot, Tiger, that kind of stuff, but don't try to make her a white girl,
Right.
Yeah, you can give her the strong, somewhat sassy type of personality that Mary Jane has, but as far as the red wig, I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
I think she'll be able to make it her own while still having some of the traits that we know from the character from the comics. And this might sound like a cop-out answer, but Marvel hasn't really steered us wrong yet. So I
don't think
completely
that's a
trust their
cop-out at all.
decision.
Their casting is on
The
point.
one thing I will say about this, I wish this wasn't leaked. And they revealed it like at the very end of the movie that she was actually Mary Jane Watson. That would have been an awesome reveal if that had happened.
Oh, yeah.
But that whole
that.
call sheet leaked out that says, "Oh, the Shocker's here, the Tinkerer's here, the Vulture's here."
We've got all of the stupidest villains in this entire universe, all in Spider-Man.
I think Michael Keaton will make the Vulture a great character,
100%, man. And I like the tech-based direction that they went with his costume.
to tie it into the Avengers and everything. So
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting. How many villains do they have? 3?
I think what they might do, at least what I hope they do, is maybe just have like a one-off thing with the Shocker and have something like they did with Rhino in Amazing Spider-Man 2. Just have it be very brief, but your main villains are the Tinkerer and Vulture.
Yeah, because the Tinker will be building the Vulture's weapons and everything.
Similar to Batman Begins with the Scarecrow and then
Ra's al Ghul.
Ra's al Ghul, yeah.
And for God's sakes, Marvel, cast Mysterio for the sequel.
Yes.
Everybody
Please.
wants to see Mysterio,
Yes.
no doubt. Good call.
Okay, so we want Mysterio.
I'm all for Zendaya, however you say her name,
Agreed.
as Mary Jane Watson.
Agreed.
Who would you want as Mysterio?
Well, it was Michael Keaton.
Okay.
That's a good question.
I don't know what
I don't
he looks
know.
like without the bulb on his head, but I always think that Ben Foster's a reliable actor. For whatever
Possibly.
that's worth.
I see Mysterio being a little bit older than that, though.
Sure.
I'll have to think about that one.
Vin Diesel.
I'm out of here.
or a good I got it. Harrison Ford. Bring Harrison Ford as Mysterio.
Yeah, I'm sure he'd love that. Another press tour.
Boo! I wouldn't want him to play the character, but you know who would be great in the Venom suit? Brock Lesnar.
Oh yeah. But then his voice is like, "Hey guys."
Yeah. Did you see Adam from What Culture did an interview with Brock Lesnar?
Really?
Yeah, with Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman. He looks scared out of his mind, and I'm like, I don't blame you.
Yeah, Brock's an
Did you
intimidating dude.
see the Bill Goldberg thing from GamesCon?
Yeah, he's coming back,
Oh yeah,
He is.
He is. So
and I will be really excited when that happens.
So from one universe to another. Talking about Suicide Squad here. Suicide Squad has passed 500 million at the worldwide box office, and just over 238 million in domestic earnings. We haven't I know I haven't discussed it with you, and I definitely haven't discussed with you your thoughts on Suicide Squad. I
was
talked
gonna
about
say
it
the
last
same.
week. Cursory glance on what I said. It wasn't awful. It wasn't amazing. It was a pretty good movie. Worth watching.
Yeah.
That's about all I had to say for it. Had some good points. Definitely had its weaker moments, but enjoyable overall. Summer blockbuster for sure.
I agree with it wasn't fantastic, but it wasn't terrible. It was kind of to me. It had its moments. I thought Margot Robbie was phenomenal as Harley Quinn. I think she was the highlight of the movie.
Yep.
Will Smith did a great job of playing Will Smith, as he always does.
Yeah, man, the bat got me.
I killed the bat.
What are we, some sort of Suicide Squad? I was like, roll credits. We're out of here.
Someone who
said the name.
someone who actually like I ended up really liking by the end of the movie was Captain Boomerang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a little over the top, but I thought that Jai Courtney did a pretty good job of playing him. The villain I thought was kind of weak. It was
that one felt very shoehorned in.
yeah. But all in all, I mean I enjoyed it. It was a fun movie.
My biggest like thumbs up for it is Diablo. Like Diablo coming out of nowhere
He
and
was a
being such a
surprise
big
character.
character in it.
Oh, Amanda Waller, whoever played her was great.
Oh yeah.
She's got
Vanessa?
ice in her veins.
Viola Davis.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew it was something with a V.
So, guys, I'm going to be the rain cloud over this otherwise positive review, fairly positive review. I've been shitting on this movie for a minute now. I went and saw it wanting to really like it. You remember probably talking to me when the trailer came out. I was like, man, this is the one. I'm so looking forward to Suicide Squad because of its irreverent tone, because of its edgy nature. And then I felt like it was pretty neutered. Like, it could have really benefited from a R rating, I think, which obviously I understand why Warner Brothers didn't do that because they're trying to appeal to as many people as possible. But I do believe that the cast was pretty on point. I think that the biggest problem lies with Warner Brothers and their lack of faith in their filmmakers. This trailer park studio that edited together the trailer ended up getting final cut of the movie over David Ayer's darker version, and it seemed very disjointed. It seemed like there were some scenes that repeated themselves while there were others that didn't have time to breathe, and I didn't like the portrayal of the Joker. On the positive side, I did enjoy the interaction between Deadshot and Harley Quinn. I liked the levity of Boomerang's character. I thought Diablo was pretty neat when the reveal of his backstory happened. I didn't feel like it had a lot of emotional resonance. And I think, to me, that was the biggest problem that I had with the movie, is that I didn't emotionally connect with it. Me and you went and saw Apocalypse together.
Yeah.
Very similar experience. It was hollow, and I didn't dislike watching it. But the blue beam in the sky comes down and all this shit starts whirling around, and I don't care about any of it because I've seen it so many times before. And even the villains, they were so dark and the action was shot so close that you couldn't tell, or I personally couldn't tell what the hell was going on. With that being said, I understand why people liked it. It had great music. It has a great cast. The costume design was interesting. It had a ton of fan service and characters that people know and love from the comics. I'm just talking about it objectively as a film fan, and I totally understand that at the end of the day, my opinion's not right. It's just mine, but I do want to just be honest with you guys because that's all I've got. You know, if I start lying and pandering, then people will lose respect for me. You know what I mean? So, anyways, that's my thoughts. But if you liked it, good.
You can hit the like on those videos. Okay, so you talked about Jared Leto's Joker, and I kind of hit this in mine last week. I didn't see enough to actually form a real opinion.
That's fair.
Yeah.
It was so brief, and Jared Leto even went on and said he felt like he was tricked into this movie. And that he filmed enough stuff to actually make a movie just out of what he filmed, and they used so little. What are your thoughts on that? That right there, like if your guy is saying you tricked me into this, he's not happy with the product with it. Okay, it even feels a little bit like God, what is his name? He did Fantastic Four.
Josh Trank?
Yes.
Yeah.
How after the movie went out, like he started attacking his own product.
Yeah.
It's not as, he's not as crazy as Trank went and everything.
Right.
But I think it says a lot when your Joker is saying these kind of things.
Well, to be perfectly honest, whenever I watched the movie, I do agree with you that there wasn't really enough to form an opinion on how Leto did. But I felt like he was put in the movie just for the sake of saying, hey, we have the Joker. It felt more of a development for Harley Quinn than having the Joker establish anything.
Yeah.
So I would like to see him, hopefully he's in the solo Batman film and we really get to see him cut loose. But it was just kind of forgettable to me.
Yeah.
But not on Leto's fault, but just for how much or how little he was in the movie.
He definitely made an impression on me in the little bit that he was in the movie. I have a theory of my own, and that is the little bit of the Joker that I saw, it felt like he was trying really, really hard, and I don't wonder if they cut the scenes that he was in so that later on down the road they can use him and not totally tarnish his reputation. It's possible that he went so big during those scenes that when they saw the final cut of it, they were just like, we can probably skim this and skim this. Granted, the dude got the same paycheck, regardless of how long he ended up in the final cut. So, I mean, it's not like I can sing a fucking sad song for him or something like that.
Yeah.
However, I do believe that if he continues down the path that he's on, and by what all signs are pointing to, even though he's contractually obligated, we might have a future DCEU universe with either a recast Joker or no Joker at all.
Yeah. That's what I was about to get to. Do you think they're going to recast?
I don't think so.
So I could see it going either way. I hope they keep Jared in and wrangle him in. I think him seeing Heath Ledger do the method acting or whatever, I think Jared went a little bit too far
Absolutely.
with the rats and whatever else.
Yeah.
you know.
Use condoms.
Yeah, just like that. That's crazy stuff. So, I'd like to see more of him, but you know, if it happens, it happens. I don't know who they would get.
Would you be cool if they recast?
Sure, get Matthew McConaughey.
I actually want him to play Eobard Thawne in the Flash movie.
Oh, yeah, good call. That guy, I don't know.
Actually,
I was like, I agree. Wait.
Willem Dafoe.
William
as the
Dafoe
Yes.
can do anything. Yeah,
Him
as
as the Joker.
I would
be
be a
amazing.
huge fan of that.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen the fan mock-ups, and he looks perfect.
Yeah.
I'd be okay with that.
So if there is a recasting, they need to jump on Willem Dafoe.
That's a good call.
Yeah.
That's a good call.
Not his brother, Willem Dafoe.
Old Nerd Cave joke there.
So, continuing on with some Jared Leto news, he's going to be joining the Blade Runner sequel that is coming out. So, I'm not sure what all he's going to be doing, but he's going to be on there. We are thrilled that Jared has agreed to play the key role in Blade Runner sequel. He is a phenomenal actor, and we know he will create a truly memorable, never-before-seen character.
I have a confession to make. I have never seen Blade
I
Runner.
was going to ask how you guys felt about the original Blade Runner.
Boring.
Really?
It's boring.
So I can see Jared Leto being a replicant. I think he'll probably take over as Rutger Hauer's character because he's got that very kind of otherworldly model look, like not quite human, you know what I mean? Like he could be an android. I kind of agree that the original Blade Runner is not a super strong movie. But it really did set the standard for what dystopian futures looked like.
Yep.
You see it
Yep.
over and over again. So this is a movie that, especially with Deakins and Villeneuve attached to it, I believe that they can update it in a way that's very aesthetically pleasing. I think that Ryan Gosling's a very talented actor, so to see him as the lead playing kind of Harrison Ford's character. Actually, Harrison Ford's reviving his role in it, so he'll be playing Deckard from the original, and I'm
So-
looking forward to it.
I wonder if we'll finally get the answer. Is he a replicant or not?
That's a good question, man, and it actually, I've heard theories that it wasn't decided during the original filming. Like, Ridley Scott never really thought of him as a replicant, but then when people started viewing the movie, they started interpreting it that way, and it's become a very large part of the actual narrative. And I bet that what you said is going to be right, that they're going to both find out that they're replicants at the end.
Yep. And that will be opening in theaters October 6, 2017. Woo! So, interesting development on that. Now, have you watched Jessica Jones?
I did.
Okay. So, DC just reached over the line and
They
pulled
crossed enemy lines.
They did cross enemy lines, and DC pulled over an actor from Human Target as well. His name is Will Travel, right?
Yeah, Will Travel.
Travel for Arrow season 5.
He played Nuke in Jessica Jones.
Yeah.
So basically, they took him from South Korea to North Korea. No, I'm just kidding.
Interesting. We haven't seen him DC make a move like this.
Yeah.
And you haven't really seen Marvel do something like this. But at the end of Jessica Jones, you kind of were left out in the rain there. So I doubt you see him on Jessica Jones.
I'm not sure what direction they'll go with season 2 of Jessica Jones, because the only villain that I know is Kilgrave. So I have no idea where they'll go, but that's a long ways away.
Yeah.
Another 2 years at least.
And kind of like with Natalie Portman, they can just like sideline them and make little mentions to it until they don't have to anymore, until audiences have forgot about them.
Yeah.
Is what you meant that this is the first time they've done it where he could potentially be running 2 series simultaneously? Yeah. I got you.
Yeah.
That would be interesting.
So it would be interesting. I doubt that happens though. I think him coming over to DC
means bye Marvel.
Marvel's just like no.
I agree
more.
with that.
I liked him in Jessica Jones, and I thought he was able to be both sympathetic and have an intensity to him depending on when the scene required it. And he was like a complicated character, you know? I thought he was good.
Yeah, I think he did well. And you were mentioning Natalie Portman. Natalie Portman says, as far as I know, I'm done.
Sad day.
Aww.
Yep.
Sad
I always
day.
thought he should get with Sif anyways. I'm like, dude, Natalie Portman or Jamie Alexander? I'll take Sif.
So this comes from the Wall Street Journal. They asked if she would reprise her role as Jane Foster, and Portman replied, I don't know, if maybe one day they'll ask for an Avengers 7 or whatever. I have no idea. But as far as I know, I'm done. So Ragnarok, the new movie, will be opening in theaters November 3rd, 2017. And Tessa Thompson is the new female lead. That's Valkyrie. So,
and she was the girl from Creed. Very, very talented actress. Looking forward to seeing that. You do see that Marvel's working towards kind of rounding out their cast with different kinds of people, and I think that that's good. They've been criticized for it for long enough, and they're bringing in really talented people, so that's what's the most important. As far as... What were we just talking about?
Natalie Portman.
Oh, so as far as Natalie Portman leaving the Marvel Cinematic Universe, she hasn't been around for movies anyway. She was in Thor 2.
And that was it.
Yeah.
That was the last time she's been in anything.
Yeah.
And I don't think they need her. Kind of like, we'll see what happens with Gwyneth Paltrow, but I'd almost bet that she won't be back.
Yeah, I think they'll just keep, me and Pepper having our differences or whatever.
She's out in Malaysia helping the sick, needy people or whatever,
with
you know.
Apple and Basket or whatever her kids' names are. God, that woman is crazy. And
Oh, man, this just crossed over into the real.
the poor guy from Coldplay is having to, like, make trash music now to just pay for that divorce.
Gwyneth Paltrow, you were on blast after the end of Iron Man 3 and naming your kids Apple and... whatever.
I guess it was Basket.
MacBook.
That would be if the twins, Apple and Basket. That's awesome.
So what do you think about the Natalie Portman development?
In the grand scheme of things, I don't think it's that huge of a deal. Because, I mean, Thor is going in a different direction. I think the movie is mostly supposed to be in space and in Asgard. So
Spice.
So it's not like they're really going to be on Earth anyway. So how are you going to fit her in?
You kill her.
Well, I wasn't going to go that far.
Space.
Spice.
So they can't hear her scream.
Wrong movie.
Whatever, it fits. I hear they're recasting Thor as well.
Yeah, it's Natalie Portman.
Yes.
Jane Foster.
Yeah, I would be totally fine with that. So
Actually, they're doing away with the entire Thor franchise,
Yeah.
like movies, comics, all of it. It's going to be like Thor never existed.
and that would be a day to celebrate.
Yeah.
Yeah, this podcast is going to end with Celebration by Kool and the Gang. in tribute.
We're just messing with everybody, especially Robbie on that. Gamescom happened this past week, and
Was it a com with games?
yes,
Okay.
in Germany.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
DasCon. So we got some news, and doesn't surprise me at all. And I really don't care, but I'm going to tell you it anyway. Final Fantasy 15 has been delayed.
Oh,
Yeah.
What?
So it's been delayed 2 months. It isn't like Final Fantasy 13, which was it originally.
Is
been
Nintendo
delayed.
making this game?
I think they have it one-upped Nintendo at this point because this game's been delayed for 10 years.
Yeah.
So they've pushed it back for 2 extra months to allow for extra polish, what everybody says. And me and Derek Daniel, when he was on, I think about a month ago, we talked about game developers need to stop saying when they're giving a game out until it is ready to go.
Right.
I agree 100%.
How they did with Fallout 4, in June it was like November the game's coming out because the game was freaking done.
Yeah.
There's no need to say, all right, 3 years from now on the 3rd Thursday of the month of our Lord, December, I'm going to put out this game. Don't do that. Say, okay, we're looking at a 2017 release. And now,
then once you've got it in the bag, say, all right, 2 months from now, we're going to send this game out.
yeah, and I think it's more of the publishers than the developers because the publishers want that instant money from
the
pre-orders.
pre-sales. They want to know that they can finish probably the budget of the game off of fucking pre-sales. I apologize for my horrible mouth
It's all
for
right.
anybody who's listening. I'm normally better. Well, not really. I'm actually much worse on my show, so I apologize. I apologize.
It's all right.
So the game developer, the game's lead director said, originally I was thinking it would be okay and we could put out all of the extra updates in a day one patch. Love those. But at that point I learned there may be a lot of people out there who play in an offline environment and don't have internet. When I found that out, thinking about it again, I'm glad that I didn't make that decision. It would take about 1 month exactly to fit everything we wanted in the day one patch into the disc version, and with that, pretty much all of the technical issues would be sorted out. And then we thought that after we got the technical base down, there would be no more problems there. It's 1 more month of polish and everything to get it really great. Blah blah blah. I say bullcrap.
I don't care.
I it doesn't matter what you think. There are so many companies that put out day one patches. That's the norm now.
Yep.
That's the norm. Something is wrong with this game. I am calling it right here. There's something wrong with this game. 2 months from now, when they get ready to publish it, which is okay, I'm going to count the 2 months, September, October. They're going to put it out in November. There's something going to be wrong with this game. Fundamentally wrong.
Probably.
With it.
Can I ask, the only little bit of context that I have about this is, from what I understand, they started developing this game while the PlayStation 2 was out. Mm-hmm. And then it carried over to PS3, and they were showing trailers for it during that. And then, so it's just kept on going on, kept on getting delayed. And obviously, the graphics have to be improving between each of them, right? Or does it essentially still look like the same game?
No, it's a totally different game because it has a totally different story, totally different characters and everything. And they showed footage at E3. This game doesn't look that great, to my opinion, and it looks boring. Like, they showed a very large vertical slice of combat with this huge creature, and it was boring.
Oh, that's too
it
bad.
was
Final
really
Fantasy's
boring.
Always
That's
been
unfortunate.
A great series, yeah.
And I was wanting this to be the Final Fantasy that I get and I finally play because I've never played one. Mm-hmm. And when I saw that, I was like, okay. And now this, I don't know what you're doing, Square.
Derek, man, you got to get him on those Final Fantasy games. You played them, huh?
I've played a spin-off game,
Tactics?
Mystic Quest, for Super Nintendo.
for
But as
sure.
far as the actual franchise, never played a Final Fantasy game.
I would say 7 is my all-time favorite game.
See, I'm waiting for the remaster of 7.
Yes.
So
That one I will probably get
Y'all let
and
me
play.
know. I'm looking forward to hearing your thoughts on it.
when that comes out and everything. But Final Fantasy 15 will now launch worldwide on November 29th. Don't hold your breath. It's going to suck.
We're taking polls here, guys. Let's put your money where your mouth
Yeah,
is.
what do you think? Is it going to be good or bad? Let me know in the comments below. Now, I am a huge fan of Mass Effect. It's been my favorite franchise of all time. Just a great, great game. Amazing storytelling. Good gameplay mechanics. For the longest time, EA has been about, we're working on completely new IPs. And then they came out and said this. What's changed is there's proof in the market that people want it. Maybe more than there was than when we spoke. There were some that did it before and blah blah blah. Anyway, they're wanting. I'm not reading all of that. Sorry. There might be a remaster of the Mass Effect trilogy. That's freaking awesome. So I can't wait for it. Andromeda is coming out next year. From last time I looked,
quarter 1, 2017.
So if they did a remaster of the first 3, put it out quarter 4 of this year, perfect timing.
If they do it, I will get it.
So I think that would be a great way to get people into the new Mass Effect and everything. It'd be like, okay, there's been 3 games before this, because a lot of people are like, I don't want to play a game that already has so many games in that franchise because I don't know what's going on.
Right.
So that would be a great way for people to get into the series and enjoy it with new graphics and everything. And even looking at Mass Effect 1, it's still a gorgeous game for when it was made. So speaking of series that's had a lot of good games and now it's fixing to have a bad one, Metal Gear Survive will be coming out.
I think this actually answers a fan question.
It does. I want to say Adam asked it.
Yeah, I don't like Metal Gear, but that new game has everyone freaking out. Thoughts?
Okay.
That's from Adam Gumbert. Shout out to Adam Gumbert.
Yeah, thanks for posting a question.
Thank you, sir.
Now, have you played Metal Gear any?
Oh, yeah, the first one. Metal Gear Solid on PlayStation 1, one of my favorite games of all time. The stealth aspects of it were great. It was like a game, it was immersive, the cinematic stuff was great, and the controls were just immaculate. It was a super fun game.
Did you
never played one?
You never played one. Metal Gear Solid was one of the first games that I ever played. So, like, I started with that.
Yes, such a good one.
And Psycho Mantis, all of the development and the just boundary pushing that they did with the first game was amazing, and they've been great since then. 5 is actually one of the only ones that is the only one I've never finished, but 5 is an amazing game, and it's kind of like the new Mass Effect. A lot of people weren't sure about getting it, and then people started buying it just because it was so good and well received. Well, we all know Konami and Kojima had a huge falling out. If you don't know about all of this, the guy that developed all the Metal Gears.
I don't even care. No, I'm just cutting ahead.
Kojima was the guy that developed them since the very beginning. He left Konami because they screwed him over. We don't really know all the details.
I have heard a little about this.
So Konami still owns the rights to Metal Gear, and Metal Gear Survive is the first game without Kojima on it. And it looks dumb.
It's spelling bad news.
Yeah.
Does it look like the same game fundamentally?
No. It's not even like, it doesn't even look stealth. It's like a group of people fighting like these zombie-esque creatures.
Oh, hell no.
That sounds
That's
nothing
not
like Metal Gear.
Yeah,
No.
like the trailer is, you can see the guy right there. They get sucked into an alternate dimension, and you have to fight these different things or whatever. And it's just really weird. And at the very end, you see like the ground shaking and everything. And there's a Metal Gear there.
Yeah.
So
That sounds dumb.
It does not look good. It looks like a cash grab. Konami is more than likely fixing to get out of video games because they own like pachinko machines over in Japan and everything.
That's too bad. I always
Really?
loved seeing that Konami crawl at the beginning of gaming. Oops.
So, and they even killed Castlevania and everything. So it's just kind of like,
Bastards.
yeah. It's not good. But on a lighter note,
Hey, do you want one of these?
I'll get one out then.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
You're going to try to make me save this thing?
Temptation. That's what I'm all about. Harley Quinn and Deadshot are joining the Injustice 2 roster.
That's dope.
I'm super excited about. And I'm sure that Deadshot will actually wear his freaking mask the whole game.
It's not going to be Will Smith?
No, I don't think so. I haven't watched the trailer, but
I'm excited for it. I actually really like the first Injustice game. Definitely be getting the second one.
yeah, I love it too. Did you ever play Injustice?
I might have played it with you guys. I played it a couple of times. Not much.
So it's the people, it's Neversoft. It's the same people that made Mortal Kombat. At least I'm better at Injustice than Mortal Kombat. There's an old video. He whooped all of us. But I'm excited. Harley Quinn was good in the first one. Batgirl was my
I remember that.
my character. I whooped everybody.
Heck yeah.
Everybody. But it was also a cheap move. I'm just going to admit that.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
No, I'm excited for Injustice 2. I'm curious as to what the story's going to be about, because I thought the story from Injustice 1 was pretty intriguing, like the whole what if thing. And I'm curious to see what they do for the sequel.
Was that Dark Superman in Injustice?
Yeah, it was Lois Lane gets killed by the Joker. Superman survives though, and he like takes over the whole like the whole world and everything.
No doubt.
So
Superman makes a great threat, and actually that'll come up in another one of these questions later on. So we'll get to it.
there's currently no release date other than 2017 because guess what? They know how to do it right. Looking at you, Final Fantasy. So that does it for all my topics that I've brought. We've got questions, and you said you had a few topics and questions.
I do. I had some friends over on the Team Terrible group. I let them know that I was going to be coming over tonight, and I said, hey guys, hook me up with some questions. So our friend LaDerek over on Facebook, hashtag Team Terrible, if you want to join that group, and he says Justice League is what he wants to talk about is Justice League and the possibility of Superman being a bad guy in the black suit. So let's break this down a little bit, because if I'm not mistaken, and you guys can probably correct me, this black suit tease was for Man of Steel 2.
I don't know. I just saw Henry Cavill post it and put hashtag Superman.
So we don't know.
Yeah, we don't know for sure on what it is.
I think what it is, and this is kind of a spoiler, but I think he will be wearing it in Justice League. Complete with long hair.
As the resurrected Superman, he's going to have the black suit. You think he's going to have the beard?
That would be
he's
so
gonna look
awesome.
So freaking hard.
Yeah. We've already seen Superman with a beard in Man of Steel. So, getting the long hair, I think it would be really cool.
I've seen him with the long hair in the comics. I've never seen him with a beard in the comics. Has he ever rocked one?
Yeah, Alan Moore.
What was that?
Oh, my God.
Well, my thing is they've already went with part of that story. Why not go all out with it?
Right.
Kingdom
Absolutely.
Come. Kingdom Come, and that's not Alan Moore. That's
who wrote that?
So
Alex Ross did the art, but I can't remember who wrote it.
Are we looking forward to Justice League?
Yes.
Everything
considered? I thought the trailer looked great.
I did too.
Oh, Mark Waid did it?
Mark Waid and Alex Ross were the writers on that.
Oh, okay.
I'm excited about Justice League. I think it's going to be a really good movie. As long as they figure out how to pace a movie with that many superheroes.
Sure.
Marvel does a really good job about it. So I think if they learn how to do it, it will be very good. I liked the trailer. Bruce Wayne finding all of these people and everything. Think it's awesome. Can't wait to see Jason Momoa and his rippling biceps of gloriousness.
Looking like a badass with that electric guitar and his armor on. Did you see that picture? He's got the full-on Aquaman armor on, and he's like shredding on a freaking guitar. He looks so metal. It's funny.
That's awesome.
That is cool.
He's a great... I really like him. I really like the cast of the Justice League. I think that Ben Affleck, Bruce Wayne as the character that brings them all together with Wonder Woman is a cool spin on it. And I like this whole... more smart alecky version of the characters. Like, you can see a little bit, and I don't want to call it humor like Marvel does. There's a definite difference in the way that they're doing it. But when Ben Affleck's like, I hear you can talk to fish or whatever at the end of the trailer, you're like, hell yeah. Because Momoa was like this giant hulking figure, and like, he's still Batman. He's like, yeah, I hear you can talk to fish. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. I wonder, and I guess this is where we'll end this topic on, is Superman going to be a bad guy in the first Justice League?
I don't think so.
I think... if they do the same thing that I'm thinking they're going to do, Luthor will get out. He will have some kind of DNA, and he will clone Superman. And that will be the Superman that occupies the world for a while. But that Superman is going to start breaking down, and that will become Bizarro Superman.
Fascinating.
And then somehow, I can't remember how it all goes, but Superman will come back, and he'll be in the black suit. I don't think he's going to be a villain, though.
Doesn't Superman have some sort of technology within him that can bring people back to life. He has some sort of really powerful Kryptonian technology. We'll have to look into it.
I'm not sure
Yeah.
off the top of my head, to be honest.
Well, that was cool. Appreciate you guys answering that question. I have one more, but we'll pass it on.
Let's see, from, hopefully I pronounced this guy's name right,
Our carry.
Tyler R. Carey. Where has my gear progression gone? I will say it is sitting right next to Jack Sparrow's rum.
This is the Final Fantasy question, correct?
No. He's talking about like in games, pretty much all together. You look at Destiny, you look at The Division, you look at pretty much anything that's going on right now with these faux MMO type deals. It is a gear treadmill now. It's not a gear progression where you level up your gear gets better as you go. It's always the chase for a better and bigger weapon or better and bigger armor. And older games used to be where you had this, you went and you got this awesome armor and it leveled up as you went.
You can keep building that specific armor instead of having to look for rare items or something like that.
Yeah. So, and I think that unfortunately is the sign of the times, is that people want to be able to go in and play a mission and get a new gun that's better than what they had, and that makes them happy.
Can you buy that shit on in-app purchases or in-game purchases?
You can, but if the game is done well, you have to play the game to buy it.
Gotcha.
I don't see the more commercial games going back to gear progression. I see them staying with the model of the gear treadmill that keeps people playing a lot longer, it seems, because a lot of people are still playing Destiny at this point and fixing to play even more because there's a new DLC. So that's where it's went.
Very cool.
Out the window.
Next is from Derek Daniel. If Derek is on the show this week, try and get to my thesis that I wrote last week. I have another question, though, as Derek and I were discussing some of the Flash Season 3 news, and it got me to thinking, do you think this season of Flash might take a step back or be underwhelming? The reason I ask is because this happened to Arrow. The first 2 seasons were packed with action and great plot. Then when Season 3 was announced and they said Ra's al Ghul would be the main villain, everyone was ecstatic. Then after the season was over, it felt sort of disappointing. So do you believe Flash might suffer a similar fate, or have they learned their lesson? I do think it's a possibility, because I will say the Flash has been so good that it really has nowhere to go but down. Eventually, there were disappointing moments in Season 2. Any interaction with Barry and Iris, I tuned out because...
Was it cringeworthy?
Pretty close. I think Arrow is going to bounce back this year because Stephen Amell's done interviews saying that he wants to take the show back to the gritty realism that was the first 2 seasons. So I think I will give an early prediction. I think Arrow Season 5 will be better than Flash Season 3. I will say Flash has it ended on a very big and good cliffhanger. But I just think that they're due for some type of stumble. And I know that's bad saying that, but I don't see Flash being able to maintain it, at least not for this season.
And I haven't watched Season 2. I know people were talking about doing the Flashpoint Paradox type deal.
That's what it
season.
seems like it's going to after the end of Season 2, from what I understand.
Yeah. So I'm really interested in that. Also saw something about the Black Flash.
Yeah.
So if they're doing the Darkest Days storyline, that's going to be pretty interesting because the Black Flash is pretty much a zombie.
Yeah.
Oh, he's been on it, hasn't he?
No.
Who's Tony Todd's character?
He was the voice of Zoom.
Zoom. Okay, Zoom's not Black Flash.
No.
Okay.
He's being very vague, so no spoilers. That's
Copy that.
I'm trying to save everything for you.
Yeah, I appreciate that. So I can see where you're going with. I just hope it's good. It's worth.
I
watching.
do too. I don't want it to be bad.
Yeah, we
but
don't
I
want to be an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
when they're having to bring Supergirl into the fold, which could dramatically change the dynamic of the show. I think that Flash is one of those characters whose storyline is so convoluted that at least it has the opportunity to course correct whenever it needs to. It can just reset the timeline, you know?
Yeah.
So I think it can get longevity there, but I think their villain of the week format gets a little tiresome on any shows, especially when we're used to such cinematic experiences now with a narrative that goes all the way through.
Have you seen this?
The picture of
Yeah.
Superman's butt?
No.
Oh.
Oh, they changed that.
Yeah.
They changed
Did
it.
it say on?
No, it used to say in.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Let's see. So hopefully, Derek Daniel, that answers your question. Oh, yeah. Wait, Superman is what? They should have cast Tom Welling, by the way. That
They should
disappointed
have.
me. Robbie Rawls, and we've never answered this question, but now I think we have to.
What's up, Robbie?
What flavor ice cream do I taste like? We've teased quite a few podcasts by saying next week we will answer the question, does Robbie taste like ice cream?
It's what flavor does Robbie taste like?
Yeah.
You want me to just kick it off?
Sure.
Yeah, why not?
Orange sherbet, dude. Give me a break.
I'm going to say chocolate vanilla swirl.
Cherry and strawberry ice cream mixed together because of the most vile freaking thing in the world.
Strawberry's the best.
God, why would you put that next to chocolate and vanilla? Like, who does that? Who are you, you animals?
They make chocolate or strawberry and cherry ice cream?
No, but I'm just saying, like, it would be the most disgusting thing ever.
Yeah, cherries it's just not good in ice cream.
On a footnote, Derek Daniel says, my real answer is for Nerd Cave After Dark, but my G-rated answer would be Bunny Tracks.
Nice.
We have to do that one day. Nerd Cave After Dark. It has to happen.
We'll make that as a goal on Patreon.
Yeah.
Like, when we hit a certain goal, we'll do a Nerd Cave After Dark. So
Yeah.
take off the gloves.
Let's see. We answered Adam Gumbert's question, and then Matt Feely says, with 3 exclamation points, Skyrim Remastered.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah,
I can't wait
I'm
for it to
excited
come
for
out. It looks gorgeous. Hopefully they'll have the mod support for the console versions and everything.
I was never able to finish it, so I'll be excited to get the remastered one.
I won't be playing it. I'm just going to be honest because
Yeah.
I put too many hours into it already.
Yeah.
About 400.
New game or new quests? I mean, is it the same game?
I
With
think
new
it's
expansions.
it's the same game, all the expansions into one, but they've done the graphics
Sure.
up again. So.
God, the dragon battles are going to be amazing.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
very cool.
So I'm not going to get it. I already put 400 hours in, so I'm not letting that game suck any more out of my life.
I feel that.
So
Yeah.
exciting though. I'm glad that Bethesda is finally putting that out because
Yeah.
they did that before they even started on Fallout 4. So I think it's going to be great. Just like y'all have been great this episode.
Oh man, thanks. Do you got a topic, or is you going off those?
No, I don't have any.
Okay, I got one more.
I took the whole show.
Yeah, that's great notes, man. You did really good. See if I can get back to what I was looking at. Here we go. We got one more from KS Fernandez, our friend from Chimichanga Talk. What's up, buddy? Are you guys familiar with his content? Mm-hmm. He's got the Deadpool puppet.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
those guys. Love
Yeah,
those guys.
I met him this past year, the year before at Pensacon.
Very
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, he's a great
Yeah.
guy. They're actually going to be at Creative Con, I think this weekend coming up. Could be wrong, but you guys make sure to check their page. They'll let you know. But his question is the casual fan versus the fandom. How Hollywood's perception of geek culture has created a new breed of geek.
Interesting.
Does that make sense to anybody?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense
All
to
right,
me.
talk to me. Somebody give me a first answer.
New breed of geek. I definitely think there are 2 different types. I've seen this. It wasn't really a meme. It was more like a little comic strip that someone drew. It was a casual fan. It was 2 fans going to see Civil War. You had your diehard comic book fan who had read the whole Civil War story, and then you had your casual fan. And the casual fan was really excited, like, oh, this movie looks really cool. It's got Captain America fighting Iron Man. And the diehard fan, or the one who had read the comic book, was like, well, actually, this, and this happened in the comic book.
Great point.
So, my view, that's an awesome meme, by the way. That's what I instantly thought of. I love Archer. It's so good.
Uh-huh.
I really, there's no wrong type of fan, in my opinion. If you just like the movies and don't want to read the comic books, that's perfectly fine. Because, that's what a lot of people are doing, because those movies have made a lot of money.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
If you are a diehard comic fan and you don't like the movies, then just read the comic books and don't go see the movies.
Absolutely. Do you think that's what the implication was, is like the difference between moviegoers who just like to go see superhero movies and fans who are actually immersed in the lore, they're lifelong comic book readers, things like that?
Yeah.
Is that what you think he was kind of alluding to? I'd kind of come from it from the perspective of being, and you guys know me, I'm a movie reviewer first and foremost. I do have a history of comic books, so every once in a while my fandom overlaps with the movies that I'm going to see, but I am very much one of those people that in 2008 when X-Men, but when Iron Man came out, it re-sparked my love for the whole comic book genre. I started digging out old books, but then thinking about it, I saw Blade, I saw Daredevil, I saw The Crow, I saw the original Batman, so it's something that it stayed with me for a little while, but I do see how he's saying that Hollywood specifically is creating a new breed of fans because the market's saturated with comic book movies right now. I'm not going to say oversaturated, but there's so many of them at the Cineplex that if a family wants to go see a movie, chances are pretty good they're going to buy a ticket to a comic book movie. So that's a very valid point, and I hope that answered your question, KS. Thank you for submitting that, our friend.
Yeah.
Unless anybody had anything to add to it.
Yeah,
I'll
add just a quick aside to it all.
Yeah.
I think it comes down to you can look at this with gamers and everything. You have gamers that sit down and put in hours upon hours every year. I'm talking about thousands of hours into whatever game they're liking, okay? Several games, whatever you want to say. And then you have the people that are on their phones playing Candy Crush or, playing different things when they're bored or when they're waiting in line.
Mm-hmm.
Then you can go up to these people and say, "Are you a gamer?" They're going to say no.
Right.
Because when you associate, okay, you're a gamer, you're sitting in front of a TV screen or a computer screen and you're putting in those hours. But those people are playing a game on their phone, so technically they are a gamer. The same thing goes with the movie things. Comic book fans. You read the comic books and you're a fan of those. Comic book movie fans are a totally different breed. You can be both of them.
Right.
But if you're a comic book fan and you go watch a movie, you can't go in and assume it's going to be the exact same thing that you read on the page.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just kind of like The Killing Joke. Killing Joke, great rendition of the graphic novel. It was not frame by frame.
No.
Of the graphic novel. So it's all in what you want it to be and all in what you expect it to be. So go in with a grain of salt. Go in to be excited. Don't nitpick everything. I think that's why I enjoyed Batman vs. Superman so much. Like, it was just an awesome movie to me. And every little like reference or Easter egg, I was like having a nerdgasm over there.
Yeah.
So, that's how I like to go in because people are so negative these days about everything. Look back in the day. We didn't have this kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. Be happy with what you get.
Be happy we don't have Superman 4, The Quest for Peace.
What?
God,
Love that one.
God, that was bad.
It's so bad. Almost in the so bad it's good category, but that was a nice button, dude. Totally agree. That's a good point. Yep.
So, guys, thank you for watching, listening, tuning in, whatever, to this awesome episode of the Nerd Cave Podcast. Jeremy, where can they find you?
Check out the local skating ring. I'm normally there, kind of
Skateland.
Yeah, cruising around.
A little seedy, wearing dark clothing.
Check me out at Be Terrible Movies on YouTube. Also, you can check out Jeremy Be Terrible on the Twitter, and check out hashtag Team Terrible over on Facebook. Can't wait to talk to you guys again. Again, thank you guys for having me over.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Jeremy, for coming on. Derek, where can they find us?
We are all over the social media machines. We are on Facebook. Just search for Nerd Cave. We're also on Twitter and Instagram at Nerd Cave Vids. You can check out this YouTube channel, which is at Nerd Cave. We also have our gaming channel, Nerd Cave Gaming.
Yeah, guys, we have Let's Plays throughout the week. A Throwback Thursday on Thursdays and all that good stuff. And guys, if you want to support us, you can go over to patreon.com/nerdcave. Toss us some money. Get some awesome stuff from bonus episodes to early access to fan mail to hangouts. Everything. It's all there for you. And guys, that keeps the lights on.
Absolutely.
Keeps the lights on. And guys, this has been Zach.
Derek?
And Jeremy.
Have a week.
And be terrible.